All right, geometry geniuses. I hope you have your thinking caps on. This is like question number 18 that you will see on your test. And these are pretty difficult. This is called partitioning. Partition a line segment. Say what? All right, so what that means is if you've ever been into an office where they have little cubicles and they built those little walls, they have partitioned off parts of the room. Same thing like maybe at a church or an auditorium at a school where they have those walls that they pull out to maybe separate a classroom into two classrooms. That would be a partition. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide this line up into equal partitions or equal parts. All right, what they want us to do is find point B. We're going to put a point B on here somewhere, such that the ratio of A to B to C is 3 to 1. All right, so let me tell you what that means. I'm going to just sketch it over here once. All right, this is the same, supposed to be looking the same there. All right, and so we've got A over here, and we've got C over here, and it says that what we're going to do is we're going to divide this into, I'm going to put point B on here, about a fourth of the way from C. All right, so this is going to be 1/4 of my line. And this is going to be 3/4 of my line. Now wait a minute, Ms. Long, this says that it's divided 3 to 1. Yeah, C to B is 1 part, and B to A is 3 parts. So that gives us 4 parts altogether. So we can imagine there would be one here and one here as well, okay? But what we're actually looking for is this point B, and it's a fourth of the way from C to A. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to figure out how much this figure changes. I'm basically going to find the change in X and the change in Y. And basically I can count that up. Now remember, the change in X represents the horizontal distance, okay? So I'm going to count up how many places there are between C and A just horizontally. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start at C. The point C will be 0. So I'm going to say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 boxes there. So the change in X is 16. I could have also looked at if C is at the point 9, 5, and A is at the point -7, 1. Then I could have just looked at the X coordinates and said X2 minus X1 equals that distance. X2 would be -7 minus 9, which gives me -16. But remember, when we're talking about distance, we can't walk -12 steps. We can't go to grandma's house -1 miles. So we would look for the absolute value of that, which is 16. Okay, so that's 2 ways to find this number. One is just to count up the squares on the graph. 2 is to go ahead and say x2 minus x1, or in the case of y, we would do y2 minus y1. Now personally, I like counting squares. That seems much easier to me. So I'm going to come back over here, and now I have to find the change in y. Well, remember, y tells us how tall or how short the graph is. So I'm going to count from here at A, how far do I have to go up to get from C to A? Well, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So the change in Y is 4. All right, are you with me so far? I counted over 16 and up 4. All right, now, all right, Ms. Long, get to the point. This isn't doing me any good. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take that and multiply it times our ratio. Well, I want a point that is 1/4 of the way across. So what I'm going to do is, how can I divide 16 into 4 parts? So I'm going to say 16 divided by 4 equals, 4. All right. 1/4, I'm going to divide that by 4. How can I divide 4 into equal parts? I'm going to say divided by 4, and that gives me 1. So I'm going to go back to point C. Okay, this is point C right here. And now the change in x tells me how far to go left or right. So it's positive. So I'm going to go right 4 from point C. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it tells me to go up 1. That's my change in y, up 1. And so here I have point B. It is 1/4 of the way between point C and point A. All right, you may have to watch that one again to fully understand, but give it another viewing, and then give it a try on your own on your interim assessment 4. All right, good luck, you guys. Number 19 is a very similar question, so I'm going to work out another one there.